Guys, Christina Caskey here with Forever Board Soapery, and today I am making my deodorant sticks. I have been really low on these for a while. I think I've talked about it a few times, and I just haven't gotten around to getting them done. So today I'm going to go ahead and get some of it restocked. It's not everything, but it gives me kind of my top sellers will be ready again. So in the bowl there, I have my coconut oil, and you just seen me manhandling the beeswax. One of my subscribers had a brilliant idea of shredding down that beeswax so that it's easier to use when you go to use it. So just taking the blocks and shredding them down. Loved that idea. Probably something that I will end up doing. I have a really, really good grater that will make very short work of that. So I probably will do that down the road at some point. I just haven't gotten to it yet, but I think that's a great idea. So for my deodorants, I have a few ingredients in them, nothing too crazy, but I use magnesium hydroxide. When I first started making my deodorants, I did start with a baking soda recipe. I had a lot of customers who had sensitivities to the baking soda, and interestingly enough, about a month after I was using it, I started breaking out in crazy rashes and having all kinds of issues with it. Turns out that I have issues with baking soda myself. Who knew? And then I had my daughter testing some for me, and she ended up with the same issue. Perfectly fine for about a month, and then all of a sudden not fine anymore. So I did a little bit of research on different options, and I've moved over to this magnesium hydroxide. It is working like a charm. I get nothing but good feedback on my deodorants. People seem to really love what they do. The only, I think, negative feedback that I've had on my deodorants is that, especially in the summer months, sometimes they can get a little bit melty. That's it's difficult to find that fine line between with the beeswax of it being too hard and too melty. I think I've gotten it to the point now where unless it's an extreme temperature, it's good to go. But if you leave it in an excessively hot room that's going to get over plus 30, that sort of thing, it's possible that it will still melt, or at the very least get very soft. So what I do find with mine, my deodorants here, is that when they do get soft, or that they are softer. So my deodorant in general is a softer one. So you really have to, when you apply it, you're putting it on very softly and gently. You're not going in there really hard like you might do with some of your really hard deodorant sticks that you get from the store. Just soft and gentle, otherwise you'll get like a pile up in your armpit of way too much stuff. But really that's the only thing you have to consider, is just to be a little bit more easy with the amount that you're using, and you just don't, a little goes a long way. So it's pretty awesome. So far there, I just added in my arrowroot powder and my kaolin clay. And then I am looking for, what am I looking for here? Oh, I'm just waiting for my coconut oil and everything to finish melting down in the microwave. While I'm waiting for that, I don't know, do any of you guys have a softer deodorant stick as well, as similar to what I have? Or have you found a way to get that beeswax ratio just right that you don't have that problem, or do you use maybe something else to harden it up? It's definitely one of my best sellers for my deodorants, but I definitely don't think it would hurt if I could find a way to harden it up a little bit, yet still keep the integrity of the stick itself. Because people definitely do love how it works right now, so that's awesome. So I'm super excited there. I have my Blackberry and Sugared Violets fragrance oil from Windy Point soap making supplies. It is one of my favorite scents for sure, and definitely my best seller. I think it is the top seller, if I remember right, in my deodorants. Everybody really, really enjoys this fragrance in a deodorant. I do add just a little bit of colorant to mine. I really did think about going and leaving it natural with no colorants. I've thought about it quite a few times. I've decided not to. I've just decided that my brand is color. I like color and everything. I think it looks great. I'm already adding fragrance oil, so it's not like it's a natural product. Um, yeah, I like color. I like the brightness of everything. I like to see that rainbow on the shelves of the different colors. I feel like there's a lot of pure, natural, no fragrances or colorants, that sort of thing, makers out there, and I've just decided that that's not going to be me. I really enjoy having that splash of everything, and I think my customers really like it as well, so I think that's what I'll continue to do for sure. So here, I believe that was just the Optifin Plus that I probably added, and my colorant and my fragrance oil, and I'm just mixing it all up here to make sure that the Optifin is kind of evenly distributed a bit there, and the colorant, and then making sure it's all mixed up well. If you guys were interested in the butterfly soap you can see in the background there, the pineapple mango butterfly, it is now ready and for sale. So you can definitely order that on the website at foreverboardsoapery.com. If you're looking for it on the Etsy site, it's not there. I don't put all of my products on my Etsy and Fair sites. The ones that I put on there are kind of my guaranteed to be in stock, or at least I'm trying my best to make sure that they're always in stock. And something like this butterfly soap could go very, very quickly. So because it goes so quickly, I end up in a situation where um, it's just too hard for me to manage the stock on those particular sites. So they are on my website, so I do manage them there. And then of course they're in the shop as well. So I've got my coconut oil here down to melted down, and the beeswax is fairly melted down, and it's quite hot. What I find ends up happening here is the beeswax takes a really long time to melt down, but it doesn't necessarily need more temperature. It just needs more time because it's in that hard, thick block. So what I tend to do is I just take it out and I'll stir it around a bit and just see how it's doing. And as long as it's melting down, then I'll just keep stirring it. If it looks like it's no longer melting down or I'm having some issues with it, then I'll pop it back in the microwave for a couple seconds or whatever it needs just to get it the rest of the way. But adding more heat to it is not always necessary. So I just pop it out and have a good look at it and see what it looks like. Because of course, the second we got this all heated up, we're waiting for it to cool down. So it's kind of a pain. In this case, it all dissolved or melted down for me. So I'm mixing my melted oils and waxes down into all of my dry ingredients. And I don't know if you can see it there on the side of that one bowl I just put down. There's a little bit of a strip. I'm not sure how, because these bowls have been fantastic up till now, but it must have gotten just a titch too hot somehow. I'm just not sure what happened there, but there's a teeny little pinhole in it. So I had to toss that bucket after today because somehow it got a little tinsy hole in it and there was everything's getting out of it. So now I'm just mixing everything in here, and then right about now is when I'm like, oh, why don't I have my whisk out? What am I doing? So for whatever reason, I grabbed a spatula, but it's usually a whisk that I use for this guy. So just changing that out so I can get it all the little clumps and everything broken down. I don't want to have, I've heard lots of people complain about natural deodorants and stuff, or homemade deodorants that feel gritty when you put it on. I definitely don't want that. I don't want my deodorants to feel gritty when they're being applied. So I don't know if that's the reason, is they're just not quite mixing it enough, or if there's something in their particular blend that causes that, but I try to avoid it for sure. So I did give this a little bit of time to cool down, and I'm just double checking the temperature here to make sure it's gotten low enough. I need it under 80 degrees Celsius, I believe, 80 degrees Celsius for the Optifin, but I usually try to let it cool further than that. I'm usually trying to get closer to 60, 65 before I add anything in there. And truly, that's just out of impatience. I probably could wait longer, but I pop it in there and then I get it really well mixed in again. And then I'll let it cool some more. Again, due to impatience, it's probably not getting much lower than 60, 55, that sort of thing. I really should let it cool longer, and you'll see why towards the end of the video here. But I never do. I just never do. Again, impatience is one of those things that I definitely struggle with. And probably because it hasn't affected anything. Basically what ends up happening with me is I get the little craters in the deodorant, which I'm pretty confident I could get rid of simply by pouring at a cooler temperature if I would just wait longer. But nobody seems to mind. They're still buying them. So because nobody minds and I don't mind, I go with my impatience and just pour. So these are all of my deodorant sticks. These ones I got from Voyager Soap. They had a good price on them at the time I bought them when you bought them in bulk. So I went there this time around. We'll see. I'm starting to get low here, so I'm going to have to order again soon. We'll see what I end up going with next time, but if I use the same company or not. I had ordered a whole bunch, well, not a whole bunch, but a fair amount from Windy Point, and they accidentally sent me the white containers instead of the clear. So I think I might do like an essential oil line maybe in the white containers just to use them up, but I haven't fully decided if I'm just going to use them and not be too fussy about it. Again, I think my big selling feature is the color, so being able to see that color is useful for my sales. But perfect. So I only fill my deodorant sticks to about 65 grams. So basically to the line, and then everybody can just dial it up. I don't fill it to the tippy top just because, one, I'm so messy, and I probably just pour it over the side every time. And two, just because they are that softer bar, if it does get a little bit melty on the top for some reason, hopefully it's not spilling out the sides and the top when you're opening it, that sort of thing. I don't know. I just started this way and I've been happy with it, so I'm just going to keep holding on to that for now. One of the other things I could probably do is potentially pour just a little bit slower. That might help with the cratering as well. If you're having that problem, so kind of pouring that cooler temperature and slower. I know it works with candles. I haven't had any cratering in my candles, so it must be doing a good job over there because I've been actively pouring at cooler temperatures and as slow as I can. I don't know why, I just don't do it with my deodorant, but I'm always so scared it's going to harden up and be clumpy and hard to get in there. And the worst part is you can literally just pop it in the microwave for 10 seconds just to soften it up again. It's not a problem. I still stress about it. And there's my mask because we had to make sure to make a mess. Wouldn't be me if we didn't. So these are the Blackberry and Sugared Violet deodorant bars. They are on sale now. So if you're interested in some, they should be on the website. I'll go double check that after I do this video to make sure it's there. The Blackberry and Sugared Violets. And then I am going to do a couple of more batches. I'm going to do my cucumber mint. And I think it's Satsuma orange as well I'm going to do. So there's the purple for the Blackberry and Sugared Violets. And then the Satsuma orange. And our cucumber mint. They look beautiful. Like and subscribe and follow my page. I love you guys.